Oh,
I thought
that
that was
knee's
all the
gonna
time.
take a lot longer to heal, ain't it?
Huh?
I said that knee's gonna take a lot longer to heal than anything.
Then I'll still run circles around him and don't matter.
I want to see that.
Oh, I can
He
guarantee
goes
you.
pretty good.
Let me
I
write
do
this
too.
down.
I
Here.
do too.
What's Casey's number? Let me put this on
Go ahead,
speaker.
I'll call him for you, and we'll chit chat right now. He's at home.
Sit wherever you want.
He'll have a different.
All I know is if he's willing to do it, I'm willing to let
I
him.
think there's 11.
Yeah, see,
I'm gonna
Businesses
take
that
advantage,
have
I
wrote
ain't
us a
stupid.
letter. Okay. Hopefully they're good enough.
I could tell you the way Crystal wrote Main Street Bar and Grill and Three Sisters. Just how she wrote them. She's great.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. I was like, that ought to rise us to
Well,
the top.
it's nice we got one from the county too.
Mhm.
That helps
Oh, yeah.
immensely,
Mhm.
getting one from the county as well.
Yeah.
I have the resolution for the R&R. I had to edit
Are you
it
kidding
after
me?
we signed it at the
Yes.
R&R hearing, so
Wow.
everybody could just
When
sign
did they
the
get notified?
edited document.
Yeah.
Same time about everybody else did.
You gotta think with
Please.
Citizens State Bank, really, how much it has to go through in order for them to get it now since they got bought out. Oh,
He
really?
told me
Yep.
he was in a crunch time or something.
Okay.
So was Struve, but I was sitting in there and you look at the clock and said, I gotta have it in by what, 2:33? And he goes, I'll get it done. And he did. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There was one or two,
Surely not.
because I did go and get all the CDs removed.
Oh,
I needed to
I had
edit
texted
this,
him
so we signed it at the
before, but I
R&R
announced
hearing.
him.
But I had to change, everywhere it said county, I had to change some stuff. You could just sign that. And then Mary you weren't here for the R&R hearing, so I won't have you sign this. We signed it, but I had to edit it. So they're just re-signing the resolution for the R&R.
Yeah.
And then Crystal, if you could sign
Oops.
this one, it's just the
Okay.
updated. I had to change where it said county to.
Oh, okay.
So we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
You tried to do it.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will call the meeting to order and roll call. Rhonda Hamby. Here. Jerry Kremeyer.
Here.
Christina Smith.
Here.
Crystal Wilson. Here. Mary Jowers. Here. Scott Layfield.
Here.
We will need to get a motion to approve the agenda. We're here to talk about KDOT grant.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I think that was quick and painless.
Yeah.
All yours.
Yeah, that part was quick.
Yeah.
All right.
You might introduce yourself.
I will. Got it here.
Sir.
More paper, yay.
Oh, you get a couple of them.
Thank you.
All right, my name's Darren Neufeld. I'm with EBH Engineering. I live in Marion. We cover a lot of locations all across the state. We have 9 offices. I started years ago out in our Goodland office. I opened that one, and 15 years ago moved to Marion County, opened the office there. So got offices in Marion, Hillsborough. We also Great Bend, Pratt, Cimarron, Goodland, Neodesha, Eudora. So we're everywhere. One of the programs we use a lot, and the majority of our clients that we work with are communities that are 5,000 and less population. We don't work with a lot of big ones because we like working with the people we grew up with and know well and work well with. So That's why typically our clientele is smaller communities and counties. This particular program, KDOT's had out for about 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. They do 2 rounds a year, the spring and fall. It's up to $1 million. It's a minimum of 15% local match. And it was created by KDOT to fill in the holes that some of the other grant programs weren't able to fill. So one of the caveats to this is if you can apply for one of the other grant programs, then it makes it tougher to score well on this scoring matrix. Not impossible to turn in an application and get one, but it's just in their scoring matrix doesn't apply real well. I will say in the history of this program, we typically turn in or assist in turning in anywhere from 15 to 30 each cycle. So we turn in a lot. We typically get anywhere, the lowest we've ever had is about 2 awarded. A lot of times we've had 6, 7 of ours get awarded. Not that I'm trying to say we can help with that part, it's just that's kind of where the odds are. In saying that and doing that, typically $1 million is not where they fund things, because they like to spread their money around. We have found over time that the sweet spot is to ask for somewhere between $400,000 and $800,000. Okay, that's kind of a good range. The other thing is, when we are not successful with a grant application, whether it's this program or any other program we work with, and we work with about every state and federal agency out there, we sit down on a phone call or a Teams meeting with the people looking at them on the other end and say, okay, why was this application not successful? What was missing from it, or why did it not score well? In all of our reviews and all the time we've been doing this particular program, we've never seen one, whether it's ours or somebody else's, get funded at 15% local match. Because in their internal scoring matrix, the more you put in from the local side, you get a couple extra points. There's enough people that say, hey, we're willing to put in 25%, that it never drops to the 15% funding level. Just the way it pans out. We've had projects funded at 20, but the average is 25. Just trying to make you aware of what's out there. So I'm not going to say you shouldn't go 20. I'm recommending you don't go 15. Just because it will not put you in a competitive light, no matter how good your project is. The other thing I'll say about how we as a company do business, when you look at that estimate that I've provided you there, those prices, the unit prices we use on an estimate, we keep them high for 2 reasons. Number one, we don't know how long it's going to be before we actually get a chance to do the project. We want to make sure we got a little bit of cushion for inflationary reasons. But the other thing is, I would much rather ask for a little bit larger grant, and then we find out when we're getting ready to design the project or construct it, oh hey, we need to go another 40 feet here or 20 feet here to get a sidewalk or curb or something else that really we didn't catch here at this early look. So by building in a little bit of cushion in our estimates and asking for that much more grant money, it's available. We can always turn a little bit of grant money in if we don't use it all, but it's impossible to go back and get more towards the end. So, and I would much rather stand here in front of you all at the end of a project and say, guess what? You know, your bill is less than what we thought it was going to be initially. Not, okay, I need another $15,000 to finish this up, sorry. So, I've had to do both, and I like the first way to do things a lot better. So, what I've done with this estimate is, I've gone through stuff with Austin a couple times, going back and forth on maybe which way to go with the project, ridden around and looked at things. I believe this is a very good project, what's on here. I think you will compete well with this project. Part of what my job is in this grant application is to highlight why they are necessary compared to your downtown. I mean, that's what I've got written up. Really the only thing lacking is, deciding which way you guys want to go with the percentage and if this is the exact project you want to do. What I've shown at the bottom in the 3 different colors, the total construction cost is in the green, so $741,450. If we were to bid this out today with the contractors we have in the 40, 50 mile radius, I feel pretty comfortable, honestly, if we bid this out today, we might get bid prices as low as $600,000. Okay. just never know what's gonna happen on down the road. This is a local bid project, so if you get this grant, some KDOT grants get bid through KDOT's bidding system. This one gets bid through here.
Local.
Yeah. So we're not held to some of the same KDOT standards, so contractors aren't really bumping up prices for stuff that, you know, that sometimes they have to cover. So, like I said, I really do think that just those 3 blocks, 600,000, I think we could actually do it for. But once again, I want to make sure we're covered, so I've got it at 741. So if you look at the 3 different colors, this grant program does not, they're in the gray over to the left, does not cover engineering services. It's only construction. It also, if for some reason we had to acquire right-of-way, which we don't, or move utilities, they cannot be paid for with this grant. Only the construction activities. So in the gray are our anticipated costs. Now, once again, just like with the others, those are high. Those are based on a percentage of the construction dollars. When we would actually get ready to, you get awarded a grant, you come back to us and say, hey, we want to go ahead and start working on a contract. A lot of times what we do is, at that point in time, I can look at it a lot closer. And a lot of times we'll set up our contracts as an hourly not to exceed. So we might set it up as a not to exceed of this 40,000, but I'm only going to charge you the time I have in it. And we do everything we can to do it right, but yet not overcharge you.
So those are 2 separate costs?
Those are 2 separate costs.
Okay, okay.
And like I said,
I mean, it's
The other-
apparent to me, but I just wanted to.
On the inspection, the other thing about it, so for example, we just did a little taxiway at an airport. And it was actually some FAA dollars. So it was some grant money for that community. And when we planned it out, we said, hey, this project's going to take 6 weeks to do, start to finish. Well, a big contractor got the job. And they came in 10 days, they were walking back off the job, project complete. Well, I only had to charge that city for that 10 days of our guys being on site versus 6 weeks. So if I had a contract with that community for $45,000 for that 6 weeks, I actually only had to charge them about $18,000 because we were only there 10 days. So if we get a contractor that moves fast, moves well, and does a good job, we're going to be out of here and we don't have to sit here and watch them as detailed and stay on them and be as long. So the inspection dollars, like I said, we set those as a not to exceed.
So kind of based on that, everybody needs to think about it's not always the cheapest contractor to go with. You
Right.
could have Scott's Construction that does it, oh yeah, I can get it done in 5 days and it takes them a year. Christine's Construction, guess what, can have it done in, oh yeah, it'll take me a week and they get it done in 3 days.
Right.
And she
Costs
costs
more, right.
$10,000
Right.
more.
The other thing with this program is we have the latitude to write the specs in a beneficial way to you. In other words, we, in these type of grant packages, when we're going out for bid, we leave a caveat in there that says, hey, the city can award to the contractor that is the lowest, most responsible bid that meets the financial needs of the community. Okay, so if the financial need is, okay, maybe there's $10,000 difference between low and second low, but we know this guy down here, he says he's gonna get it done 6 weeks, and all of a sudden 6 months later, he's still working on it, and he has that history. That's probably not in the best financial need of the community.
Right.
So we can, and KDOT allows us to have that in there, and they'll still back up the grant.
Are you able to put incentives in there for getting it done on time?
We probably could. We've never tried on a KDOT grant
I
program
mean, I
like
was
this.
just curious.
The only problem might be, I'm not sure how KDOT would look at paying for an incentive on their grant.
Yeah.
What about a penalty for not
Yes,
completing it on time?
that's in all of our contracts.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we set a number of days, once we get in the design, we'll set a number of days that we know construction should take, and there'll be a daily penalty fee for any day they go over.
Gotcha.
Now, the only exception to that is
Weather.
weather.
Yeah,
You know, the 42 inches of rain.
right.
If we were penalizing contractors this year, there would not be a contractor out there that was not in penalties this year.
Yeah.
This is one of those bad years for that. So back to my colors, sorry. The colors, there's 3 of them, yellow, orange, and blue. That's those different local match percentages. So if you chose to go the 20% route, the local match would be the 148, 290, 25, 185, 30%, 222. The little ones below that, I've added in the engineering and design. So you would know what your total worst case scenario local match would be. So,
What's everybody's
And
thoughts?
then we have this cost.
well, no, they're included.
This
down here,
Yeah,
that's
they're included in
included in
these.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
included.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
these over here are included in these bottom ones, just not
Gotcha.
in these three up
Okay,
here.
Okay. Okay.
What do we have in the highway funds for the budget this next year? Is it 80?
Yeah, what did you do, Becky?
I didn't bring my.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And also, just to give you an idea on when I looked at these three areas, this estimate is to replace the curb, take out the street, replace the base, which we go with the 6-inch base, 6-inch concrete. And I use GeoGrid under my bases, so I never have to worry about settlement under that. What I did not include anywhere, because we didn't really talk about it, is I didn't see any really bad spots of sidewalk. You know, if there's some sidewalk areas, yes, this grant program could cover it, but once again, we could probably do a little bit of sidewalk and still fit it into the grant program. Just because it's not listed now, it does not mean we can't do it, because it's adjacent to the construction.
I think we're good on the sidewalk.
I think so too in
The
this
only
area.
spot I would say is where those trees are on the side of the bank, if those had to come out because it's so close to the curb.
But we actually talked about,
Oh,
we actually
just
talked
gonna keep it
about,
like that with the curb.
we actually talked about, Austin talked about on that, the second half of the block of the bank block, actually narrowing that street up too.
yeah.
And that'll actually, when I estimated this, it's for the wide street, so that's some more cost savings too. As if we go back to a, 38-foot street instead of a
Right.
50 and 55, whatever it is.
Right.
She does.
She's been there for 50 years, so that's why they said.
I didn't see anything that would, like water line or sewer stuff that'd be in our way particularly.
There might be there's a manhole on Allen Street.
Okay.
But that's not.
It's in the alley, isn't it?
It's in the street.
Yeah, but it's in the alley north
Yes,
south. Yeah.
correct.
And what we can do with this grant program is if that manhole needs to be adjusted to our new street grade, that can be paid for with the grant. We just can't replace the sewer line.
Oh.
And then we can spend this if
So-
we
And then
had
where
to.
we talked about reducing the street down,
Uh-huh.
that'll get a main
So we
outside
have a
of the
budget.
street.
The outside of the street,
This.
yeah.
And then here's actual costs that we've spent on these
You guys
categories.
see a number that's sticking out, the percentage? Oh, on
For
the,
this? No.
what'd you see?
I can brief
Read
list.
read that off to everybody
So,
before
for the
I,
special highway budget for 2026, we have the budget authority to spend $418,000. That would bring our budget to zero for the following year, so you wouldn't have any carryover, but it is allowed. We have budgeted $125,000 for street improvements. So of that 418, we have allocated 125,000 for street
it was
improvements.
418.
Mhm.
Caveat to that, real quick. This money is Kansas FY '26, which we're currently in, but that doesn't mean you have to spend it right away. You could, if depending on how you need to fit it into your own budget, we could literally, let's say you get awarded, we could literally make sure that the contract dollars weren't spent until 2027. Because technically you have 2 years from the date you sign the grant with KDOT. You won't sign the grant with KDOT until March of '26.
Oh, okay.
So you would actually have till March of '28 to spend all the money. I mean,
Our fiscal year is January 1, so our 2026 budget starts January 1.
right, but I'm
So,
saying if you
yeah,
needed to
you could
hold on
have
until
another
your
year.
2027, it would be no big deal to fit your budget. Or we could start construction maybe just to make stuff fit with your budget. It doesn't finish until 2027. I mean,
Right.
that's maneuverable, so I hope, don't get hung up on, oh, hey, we have to have this all available in our budget expenditures in 2026. No, you wouldn't have to.
What's the typical time for processing?
So they'll typically notify everybody in late November or December
Okay.
of this round.
That quick.
But it usually takes 2 to 3, yeah, because this is a quick since it's twice a year. It usually takes them about another 2 to 3 months, especially this one in the holiday season, for KDOT legal to get the agreements out to you for your review, your lawyer to look at, you to sign, and get back to them, and then it sets in legal up there until they can get it out. So plan 2 to 3 months before that part can happen.
We're into next year.
Well, in the meantime, once you know you're gonna get it,
Yeah.
we could start working on our part. Because since their money isn't paying for any of our services, we can go. It's you can't obligate any of the grant dollars until after you have that signed agreement with the state. So the soonest you could spend grant money is, I'm gonna say about April of next year.
Okay.
So if you, let's just say you wanted to fast track this project, we could actually start design here this fall, bid it in January, have a contractor on board, and then when you got awarded, they could start work in April. It could be fast tracked that fast. Would recommend it, but it could be.
Now, how much money are you gonna require to get going on this thing if we do get the grant?
Nothing until we sign a contract with you.
And then it's gonna be the entire amount?
No, it would be an hourly not to exceed.
Right.
So, and it wouldn't even be, my not to exceed probably won't even be that 40,000. It's probably gonna be something less than that.
As a rough guess, if we were to spread it out between 26 and 27, that would require the contractor, whoever was awarded, to bring their equipment back and forth.
Well, only if we
How-
had a good, only if we broke it specifically.
Yeah, if it was broke out that
Right,
way.
Right.
What do you think, just a rough guess, would be the additional cost for doing it that way?
Well-
As far as the contractor having to move their equipment back?
It all depends on which contractor you get.
Yeah.
Let's just say, for example, it's Votes Parga, who's now in Mount Ridge.
Mhm.
They won't even put any extra dollars on it at all. Because to them, this is it's a 15-mile.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're mowing 200 miles at a time most of the time.
Right.
They're happy to get a job, something like this, where they're 15 miles from the shop, and equipment that's nothing to move it. So
Okay.
it all depends on the contractor. Conversely, if somebody like Smoky Hill out of Salina or Pearson, those guys, Wildcat out of Wichita, okay, now you're in a little bit different ballgame because they're a little bit further. Yeah, when they demow, they're gonna demow and bring something back in. So they would build something in their bid if we said, hey, that's the way we want it done. And if you did want to look at that, that's what we tell the people in that bid package is, okay,
Did it both ways.
yeah, yeah. And we can bid add alternates. Let's just say we get halfway through this job and you decide that the water line does need to be replaced under part of this, okay? We're still in design. We can do an add alternate to the bid to have the contractor provide a cost to replace that water line at the same time. This wouldn't be grant eligible.
Right.
But then that contractor, you'd have a number from them
Right.
to do that while they're here. So, that's the nice thing about bidding it local, is we have a lot of options on the bidding side to make it beneficial to you guys as a citizen.
It is, it's very exciting.
So-
It's very exciting.
I really like the drainage idea too, but
Yeah.
I started looking at it a little closer. Yeah, we got some issues we gotta take care of with that one.
Yeah.
Mostly, like most of Kansas, you guys are so flat, trying to get water out of town is
Yeah.
difficult. I really thought we could take the old railroad east. Mileage to town's actually a
Higher.
foot higher
Right.
than
Yeah.
at the edge of town. That's why that big drainage ditch runs through that field.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
that,
actually a natural creek.
you look on the,
It needs to be turned, it needs to be turned into a city easement that you guys can go clean out when you need to clean it out, unfortunately. Or convince the farmer to go USDA set aside and create an actual grass waterway down through it.
I was told years ago that used to be down through there, the city funded the project.
To actually do it.
Yeah.
It
I
looks
don't
like
know-
it's
I don't
supposed to
know if
work
that's-
right. The only trouble is up
I
there
don't
on the
know if
south end,
there's
looks like
truth to
it's,
that.
Right.
it's probably got,
right.
it's probably got a foot to 18 inches of silt in the first quarter mile, which is why it doesn't flow well.
But now it's completely, it's all farm ground all the way across what used to be.
And that's why grass waterway would hold in better,
Yep.
long term. It wouldn't silt in. So.
Yeah, that's another subject.
That's
Yeah, no,
another subject.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
No,
that's
you're
fine,
fine.
that's
I do
fine.
like some of the projects you guys
Yeah.
have in the future here. I think we can, with this program and some other grant programs, I think we can keep you guys moving in a positive direction.
How many years do you see this, the KDOT program last?
There is no indication that this is going away anytime soon.
Really?
This program has been so successful. They've been setting aside $15 million for this program each year since it started. And one of the years, last year, I think it was the 2024, they actually went up to like 22 million in that one year. Only a couple times, and it's been county projects, that I've seen them award a $1 million project. But the two county projects, well, Marion County was one of them, it was actually a $3 million project, and they only asked for 33% funded by the state at $1 million. So the state said, wow, if you're gonna put in $2 million, yeah, we'll kick $1 million to you. So, then that was when they did the road that goes all the way from between Marion and Hillsborough all the way down to Peabody and past
Yeah.
Peabody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was 15 miles long.
Yeah.
Nighthawk Road over there.
I like that road.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's everybody's thoughts on the percentage?
Love to say 30, but realistically, 20 is gonna be a push for us. Yeah, or 25 is gonna be a push for us, but we've gotta be there to have any kind of real go at it.
Right. Yep.
Or do we have to, we have to be at 25?
No, we have to. Yeah.
I do think 25, I think you're gonna be competitive. Now, the thing I can't guarantee is
Right.
what other projects get turned in this time. Almost every time, there's roughly somewhere around 50 to 60 projects get turned in each 6 months. Usually when they total up those dollar numbers, they're somewhere in the 70 to $75 million worth of requests. And they have 15 million to give out for the whole year. So 7.5 roughly each time around.
Out of those that are turned in, how many of those are repeats?
A lot.
That didn't get awarded
Typically,
the last time?
oh, that's the other thing I forgot to tell you. On a typical project, I would say it takes the third time to get funded.
Okay,
That's kind of an average.
okay.
Now, that being said, we've seen a lot of, I'm working with one community that really wanted to do this first project, so they turned it in as a grant, didn't get it funded. They went ahead and did it themselves, turned in a grant the second time around for a different project, but got that one on the first time because the state saw that they were willing to do it themselves without the state funding. So there's different lines of thought. The other thing is, told us about this one. There was a project in a community that I did the grant app for them, but I said, there's no way you're getting money for this. Your streets look immaculate. We should not be redoing these streets at all. Most are chip seal, and I don't even think you need that. But they got their state senator involved, which I didn't know about until after they got awarded. Their state senator got involved and backdoored the thing, and they got awarded for like $800,000 to do these streets that your county driving lanes are in worse shape than anything they had in town.
Wow.
And yet they got money to do mill and overlay and stuff on all their streets. I'm like, oh my. So there's some political maneuvering that can happen. I wouldn't recommend it, but it can. But three times is a good average. If you don't get funded by the third time, somebody historically here ticked off somebody at KDOT to where your name's on a blacklist somewhere, is what I would say. Get that, your project's just not worth it, but that's
So
not your
if this
case.
doesn't go through this time, we can resubmit.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, as it said.
Absolutely, and
the county.
the other thing, like I said, I go talk to KDOT,
Yeah,
and I say, okay, why didn't Canton score well?
right.
And if they say it's because of this or this, in the next grant round, we
Correct.
correct it or adjust it.
Okay.
If they say purely last time you guys would have got funded probably if you'd have put in 30%, I'll come back and tell you that. Now,
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say to go 30% the next time because it's going to be a whole different pool of projects.
Right, right.
So you're not competing against the exact same ones, but
What was the mix of communities for this last go around that got it?
He said like Mountain Ridge, I don't remember. There was quite a few of them.
Correct.
He gave one.
He didn't do one for the,
He added them together.
okay, okay, but there was one for the bank side and then one for the county
Yeah.
commissioner side, yes.
It's all on one, but
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
I said I just read those out before you got here. Mount Ridge was in there. Oh, this doesn't like to open up in
Eudora,
yeah, Eudora,
here. Pleasanton was one of them.
I heard you
Yeah.
say we in towns, but I don't,
Yeah.
I can't
It'll
remember.
help a lot of times.
I can't
yeah,
tell you
my
which
cell
one
service
come
isn't
up
working real well.
I know, it's
Yeah,
horrible.
I didn't print mine out.
Middle Brooks.
It's the building.
Here we go.
If you step right in there, it'll work just
Or
fine.
stand by the window. The window helps it.
You got Cimarron, Conway Springs, Danville, Elkhart, Eudora, Junction City, Mound Ridge, Ness City, Pleasanton, Pratt, and Sherman County.
So the last go around, there was only one city out of McPherson.
And I don't, Inman got one 2 times ago. Trying to remember if they, I don't think the city of McPherson's ever gotten one. I don't know if they apply. I don't know that McPherson County's ever applied for this. Inman might be the only other one ahead of that that's gotten one.
What's everybody think?
Has
I
to.
think-
25?
I say we go for it.
We gotta do
We gotta
25,
go
it's
for
gonna-
what we can, what,
Yeah,
What we can.
The
We need to go
25% and we
Yeah.
put it in and go from there.
yep, whatever we can do, we need to do and move forward.
25 or 100, which one?
Hey, either or is good with me.
Kansas City, awarded 5.3 last time.
Yeah, I guess they awarded 11 last time. I look back and like 2 or 3 times ago, they only awarded 7.
Yeah, it varies.
But that's what I mean. 7's probably a low. 11's probably about average. I'd say 9 to 11. I think one time they awarded like 15. That was that year they had extra money. So they awarded 5.3 in the spring.
So was 2019 the first that they did?
I think it was 2019 or 2020. It was right in there around the COVID time
Oh, it
frame.
says 2019.
Yeah. The first year they did it, there was only one because it was the fall. So whatever year was the first year, it was kind of a half-year one. And since then, they've done 2-year. And that purely had to do with the fact that KDOT's fiscal year starts in July, so they started the program in the next FY, so that's why it was fall.
So 25%, is that
I believe so. I don't,
Yep.
yeah,
no less?
yeah.
Do we want to get a motion?
Okay, and with that, I've got a resolution
Oh, okay.
that,
Okay.
You can give it, whoever wants to
Whoever
read
wants
it,
to
then
make
I'll
the
assign
motion.
it. and
Why
I'll-
read
Do we have a number for it?
Yes, 11. It's 2025
Jerry, got it?
you want copies of it? I
Sure,
got
yeah.
copies. That way you can follow along.
Thank you.
I
And
gotta
when you get down to
read
the
it.
blank,
Yes, you do.
when you get down to the blank, you just need to fill in that 25%, if that's. or you-
I gave it to you. Excuse me, to Jerry,
I
so
don't know how to
have one
read.
currently.
I
Yes, you
didn't,
do.
I didn't graduate.
Yeah,
I think after the last one, you should read this one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry to make it so long, it is a front and back,
That's
but
okay.
that's what KDOT likes to
Oh.
see.
Oh,
How
man.
There you go.
yeah. Do we all?
If you like your
Are you
legal,
going to get winded?
if you like your legal whereases,
Yeah.
these are good documents.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move to adopt resolution 2025-11. A resolution declaring the eligibility of the city of Canton, Kansas to submit an application to the Kansas Department of Transportation for use of the cost share program funds for the Main Street access improvement projects in the city of Canton, Kansas, and authorizing the mayor to sign this application. Whereas the city of Canton, Kansas has the legal authority to apply for, receive, and administer federal, state, and other monies through home rule power under the Constitution of the state of Kansas and authorized by KSA 12-1662 regarding the expenditure of federal aid to public agencies. Whereas the city of Canton, Kansas is submitting an application to Kansas Department of Transportation for the cost share program funds for a total construction amount of $741,450 as outlined in KDOT's cost share program guidance and application packet for the fall of 2025. And whereas the city of Canton, Kansas is participating as an eligible project sponsor in the Kansas Department of Transportation's cost share program, and whereas state monies are available under the KDOT cost share program administered by the state of Kansas Department of Transportation, my eyes killing me, for the purpose of provides financial assistance to local entities for transportation products that improve safety, support job retention and growth, improve access or mobility, relieve congestion, and help areas across the state improve the transportation system. And whereas the city of Canton, Kansas acknowledges availability of the required local match of 25% for all construction activities and availability of funds to pay all upfront costs, since the cost share program is a reimbursement program. And whereas the city of Canton, Kansas acknowledges the project is not eligible for any other KDOT funding programs. Whereas the city of Canton, Kansas agrees to pay all non-construction costs and any construction costs that exceed the project amount if the application is selected for funding. And whereas after appropriate public input and due consideration, the governing body of the city of Canton, Kansas has recommended that an application be submitted to the state of Kansas for the Main Street Improvements Project. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the city of Canton, Kansas, Section 1, that the city of Canton, Kansas does hereby authorize the mayor to submit an application to the Kansas Department of Transportation for the cost share program funds on behalf of the citizens of Canton, Kansas. Section 2, that the city of Canton, Kansas hereby assures the Kansas Department of Transportation that sufficient funding for the Main Street Access Improvements Project is available, as the cost share program is a reimbursement program. That the city of Canton, Kansas hereby assures the Kansas Department of Transportation that sufficient funding for the operation and maintenance of the Main Street Access Improvement projects will be available for the life of the project. Section 4, that the city of Canton, Kansas hereby assures the Kansas Department of Transportation that the city of Canton, Kansas will have title or permanent easement to the Main Street Access Improvements Project by the time of project letting if necessary. Section 5, that the mayor of the city of Canton, Kansas is authorized to sign the application to the Kansas Department of Transportation for the cost share program funds on behalf of the city of Canton, Kansas. The mayor is authorized to submit additional information as may be required and act as the official representative of the city of Canton in this and subsequent related activities. Section 6, that the city of Canton, Kansas hereby assures the Kansas Department of Transportation that the city of Canton, Kansas is willing and able to, if the Main Street Access Improvements Project is selected for funding, administer all activities involved with the Main Street Access Improvements. Second. Before I can read that, we have to...
But I'll second.
So you made the motion
Yeah.
and Crystal seconded.
And then you need to get...
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, you want that back. Adopt.
This resolution is adopted and passed by the governing body of the city of Canton, Kansas, the 16th day of September, 2025. Now you can sign your life away. Legally.
There you go.
Couple things about what was said in there. Number one, the administration, we help do all of that, so there's really nothing for you to do on that part. We take care of, there's no extra restrictions on this thing. It's not like we're doing Davis-Bacon tracking and all that other stuff, but if there was, we'd take care of that too. But really the only administration is just the contract part, and then also the reimbursement request, which we fill out for you. That along with the contractor's passment, we bring to the meeting, and you guys would approve it, and we actually send it in for you too. And it's all electronic reimbursement, so. So don't let the administration part, be a headache too, because it's not. We help out however we can.
Not dispute.
So. I think there's something else. Oh, I named it the Main Street Access Improvements because I wasn't sure what else to call it. If I named all the street, if I named the two different streets, it got a little long. So I creatively created that name for the project. Thought it sounded kind of good.
Sounds really good.
I did, or you
Okay.
did, and I did,
Okay.
25%.
Yeah,
and
it just says stand up for a while. So I'm gonna listen to it.
And then, so one of the other questions, two things. On the application itself, when I go to type it in online, it asks for, you can have up to 2 people listed. Who would you like me to list from your side? Probably one of them the clerk. And usually I put the second one in as the clerk. And or I can actually list a third person if you want Austin on there too. But do you want the mayor listed as the primary point of contact, or would you rather have the clerk as the primary and then the mayor as the other one? I can do it either way. It's up to you guys.
Whatever you guys think.
Rhonda, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
And then-
I would agree
and
with
then
that,
the
with all
clerk.
that more
Okay.
that's going on.
Mayor, clerk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I think
And then,
that's-
as part of this, I can actually send you all the stuff and you can do the type in upload, or I can do it for you. But if I do it for you, when I get to the end, I get to type in your name and act like you for the submission. So if you want it done that way, please just approve me submitting it on your behalf.
I approve.
Otherwise, you gotta do a lot of copy paste. I send you a Word doc, but you gotta copy paste into all the boxes.
I might get screwed up there, but I approve.
Okay. That's all I gotta do at the end of the, like I said, at the end of the application, I just have to type your name in the box and hit submit. So,
So that will get done
tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, since I have all the letters and this resolution, tomorrow
You
we'll
think
get.
25's good?
Yeah, I
25's
do.
good?
It's a starting point.
Right.
You know, I wish I could say, all the ones, people I help out, I wish I could say, hey, yeah, you're gonna get funded. I really hope you do. I really think this is a worthy project. I think when KDOT looks at it, the couple things you have going for you haven't applied before. So the other thing I try to highlight is where you have done stuff for yourself. So already what I typed into the grant application is in the past, not the recent past, but in the past, you've gone on some of these other streets and you've concreted center sections to try to, get yourself through and by. It's not like you just completely did everything you could, So we try to highlight those things and work it that way. And so if KDOT sees you're trying to help yourself and you're trying to be proactive about things, there's some more supportive of it too. So usually the one that gets a little tricky is if there's some economic development type stuff in it. From a standpoint of, those are the ones that sometimes you're not real competitive against. If somebody comes along and says, hey, build me this road out here to this new plant that's gonna employ 200 people,
Right,
and that gets a little tough to compete against.
right.
So, but if we're repairing the road to the local elevator, well, okay, that scores pretty well because it's kind of the lifeblood of the community. So, it's all in how we highlight it, or try to. So,
Just word Maxwell in there.
well,
Yeah,
Word
Maxwell.
Maxwell into it.
we do try to highlight regional things from time to time.
Is there signs on the highway on
There's-
56 in there?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
56 and once you turn north,
Right,
there's one
yeah.
too right after you turn off the highway.
Okay.
I think it says 8 miles ahead, I think.
Yeah, sure. I noticed it somewhere that has
Yeah.
signs in it.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody's got all their questions?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
need to
I just-
read.
I like red
Does
lines.
the public have any questions?
Well, I'll move to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you
just
so
for,
much.
and can I get a copy of this? signed?
Yep, yep.
Gotcha. For future rounds, also, it didn't really play out on this one, but if there's ever a project, and I told Austin this too, let's just say that road over by the high school, or if there was still a school up in the north building, doing those streets around there, if you can tie it into another either foundation or nonprofit or taxing entity, and you go in together on your application, it scores extremely well. The one in Peabody, I'm sure you've been down there for basketball and volleyball.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All those streets
I drive
around the
those
high
streets
school,
bus, yeah.
that was cost share, and
Wow.
it got awarded like that first time because the school district went in and said, hey, we'll pay the 20% local share for the parking areas. The city said, we'll pay the 20% share for the streets. We turned it in that way, and that one was a slam dunk.
Wow.
That one happened like that.
Yeah,
She had
they
two
were
What
nice.
would be
They were
your,
nice
what
now.
would be your thoughts on, because right now, the county is responsible for the center of Main
Mhm.
Street, the city is,
If you got to a point where you were focused on that, and you could convince the county to even give you a small portion of their percentage, it would look really good. Convincing a county to help out
That's the
is a
tricky
trick.
part.
I mean, just county, well, and the reason is because you're sitting here in McPherson County and you've got, what, 5 communities? 5 or 6 here in McPherson County.
Yep.
So, 8?
Yeah.
Wow, Ooh, I guess we're counting the tiny ones.
Yeah.
So as a county commissioner, you're sitting here going, yeah, if I help them out, I might help them out and help them out, and so it gets a little trickier. Conversely, some of the counties we deal with, Sherman County, good one. One town. Good one, no town, Sherman County. Tribune, Greeley County, you know, there's only one county in most of those towns out there, so it's a lot easier for counties and cities to work together.
Well, one of the county commissioners is actually the president of
That's-
the bank.
that's what
and-
Austin was
and-
saying.
And he wrote, along with the state bank, add that in as well. And so, I don't think that.
And when it comes to that, they don't necessarily have to put a lot of monetary into it. I mean, sometimes it's just